just to dig a little bit deeper, and I think I'm going to jump in a rabbit hole here too, but talking to a lot of beekeepers this spring with their heart in their hand because as their livelihood is just disappearing on them. They lost all their bees and they're looking for some way to maintain their livelihood and their lifestyle. I have one guy I'm talking to, generational beekeeper, and he's lost most of his bees, laid off his staff, he nuked out whatever he had left, he had to refinance his farm, and he's taken a job out in the oil fields just trying to get by. His entire livelihood has been changed because he lost his bees and he had no options to be able to replace it. And as an industry, if we can't figure out a way to protect ourselves from happenings like this, then our industry is just going to fall apart. It's just all there is to it. So we have to be able to acknowledge that as being a very important fact to maintain the integrity of our businesses, right? It's very important. There's a stark difference from a beekeeper who's managing a livelihood as compared to a beekeeper who has a secondary livelihood that you can just transition to and it's not as big as an issue, right? So we have to be able to understand the differerences between the beekeepers as we're sorting through this issue and respect that as a very important factor of the whole outcomes on this because it is our livelihoods. And I was showing you what weather I had last year and I was one weather storm away from losing all my bees in May. So what do I do at that point in time? I used to have an answer. I used to bring in New Zealand, but I don't have New Zealand. And I wasn't paying $650 per nuke. So what option does that leave me as a beekeeper? I need a backstop on that. And I think that's why the voice is getting louder and louder, is just because beekeepers are just feeling really insecure with what's ahead of us. If we're looking at resistance coming down the pipe, are we going to see more of this? We're talking climate change, I won't get into that. But as things are changing, are we going to see more variability like this? And if we do, we need more stability with more options. Like I was telling Rod, the biggest one would be mite control because that's the root of all of our problems right now. We need more options for mite control. We need all those options to help us beekeep better. We also need a stock replacement option. We need to be able to figure that out, and we have to figure that out sooner than later so guys don't have to change their entire livelihoods just to try to feed their families, right? So this is the heart in your hand part of the conversation. That's a really tough one. As the chair of the association, I took this on without actually realizing the gravity of this. Talking to beekeepers who are generational beekeepers who kept bees before the border closed, and they have it ingrained into them a certain way, a certain practice. And here I am 23 years in the business and I'm standing trying to maintain this business, and there's a disconnect between them and me even because I don't know what it's all about, and it's a hard thing to manage. All through May I was being yelled at. It was just it's not a happy thing, and our association is crumbling in front of us because of it, because of the well, when there isn't a border issue, we pretend to get along, but when the border issue creeps up, we fight, and it demoralizes everybody, and we can't get anything done, and we're just ready to all walk away. It's not a happy thing. It's a cancer, is what it is, and we need to figure something out.